everybody's like heroic. Nobody eats. Not that it's so important, but nobody goes to the bathroom.
Hi, this is Tara Bennett, contributing editor for Sci-Fi Wire, and I'm so excited to say today we have with us James Callis, who was Gaius Baltar on Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I am good. Thank you very much. Good to be here.
You know, I wanted to talk about Gaius Baltar because he's such a wonderful character. When I was talking to Ron, I asked him whether there were characters that he had an affinity for writing. And he said, Adama was the character of the kind of higher, kind of bigger concepts that he wanted to talk, but Gaius was the real person that we all are. For you, what was in your mind your through line for playing him and navigating these very important people?
There were several things. Now that I think about it, I did have a roadmap. I had my light at the end of the tunnel, and they all as it were, complemented each other or worked towards a certain end. So one of the things was, this guy's a total fish out of water. Right. And I remember as well, there was on one of the first days on my first day, I think, in the pilot, and they were like, right, you get your hair cut. And I'm like, no, I'm a scientist. I'm not part of the military. And then when we went on to the show, they went, now get your hair cut. I'm like, no. I want to be like. And one of the things I'd always seen, in particular in science fiction, were everybody's like heroic. Nobody eats. Right. Not that it's so important, but nobody goes to the bathroom. Nobody does things like, say we're having this is an interview and it's a serious interview, and I fall off my chair, right, or I'm so sorry, the little slip-ups, and then you trying, but I'm actually really very smart. I am. I just got a nasty scratch, or whatever, the ludicrous thing. And I was like, why can't somebody be a bit like this? So I wanted to be somebody. I remember seeing those incredible sets, and I always saw, all of the military guys, walk with purpose. And I was like, what if you're a bit, am I going to breakfast? Did I have breakfast? Just it's slightly out of keeping with everybody else. Yes. But I didn't want to be universally hated. Right. Not a lot I could do about it, but it was a thing of if I can show the humanity of the man and show that actually, on some level, he can be ineffectual. Yes. He's never malevolent. Right. There's never any malice, and that was a wonderful thing that the writers did for me.
When he has his ending, and he decides he's gonna, that emotional moment, he's gonna be a farmer. Yeah. You're happy that he's going to maybe in his own way get to reboot himself in this new world.
I think that I've spoken with Ron and several people about this, that was a remarkably generous thing that they did for the character. I had different ideas that he actually, a bit like, not to get biblical, although I am, Moses sees the promised land and he does two things in the Bible. One of them is he's going to get water. He just has to ask the rock for water. But he doesn't. He slaps it. And then there's something else, I can't remember, there's another thing. And then God says to him, you can look into the promised land, but you yourself will not go. Yeah. And I had that feeling about Baltar. And I was like, he's going to get shot or murdered on Galactica, just as he's making his nice little rucksack to go down to the planet. Somebody's like, no, what, did you really think that we were going to let you off? No. And Ron was like, that's disastrous and super ungenerous. And that's not what the show is. The show is about redemption, James. The show is about hope. It's not about the infernal darkness of man. I've got that in spades. We've had that all over for 5 years. What do you think we're like? Right. He was really upset with me, like that. And to this day, I think about thanking him for. It's like another level beyond what I can think. It's firstly, he's very, very brilliant, but a huge generosity of spirit. And I happen to think if in some way, in real life, it would end up the way that the real world is not as generous. It's not as generous, no, but I love hearing that was what was in your mind versus what we got. It's pretty great. Well, I can't thank you enough for being with us. Thank you so much, sir.